Hey, what's up guys? I want to do a video tonight and talk about one of the high-end details, one of the finer levels of detail that you get in bespoke shoes and really high-end handmade shoes, and that is the hand-stitched outsole. Now, when you think of a fully handmade shoe or a handmade shoe, I think of three main details, three main aspects. Hand-lasted uppers, so that means when they're actually pulling the upper around the last, they're doing that by hand. Hand-welted, which is when they're actually hand sewing the welt to the holdfast that's carved out of the bottom of the insole. And then hand-stitched outsoles, which is the stitch that goes through the top of the welt, through the outsole. This is not the stitch that's actually constructing the welt. You do not see the stitch that's constructing the welt. So I want to focus on the hand-stitched outsole, talk about, does it really matter? Does it make a difference? And how or what does it look like? So I'm going to start off and just kind of run through a few quick examples of what hand-stitched outsoles are. So this is from Yim Shoemaker here. This is a hand-stitched outsole, and let me see if I can get this to focus for us. Right along the welt there, this outsole stitch is completely done by hand. Here is a hand-stitched outsole from Acme Shoemaker. I know everybody loves when I say it, so this is from Ichigo Iche, fully bespoke handmade shoe. Beautifully executed. Now, for the purposes of this, where we're going to show the differences or show how a hand-stitched outsole compares to a machine-stitched outsole, I'm going to use two pair from Antonio Mecariello. These are both made to order. This has the pair back here, the Centurion is from the Aurum range, so that actually has a fully hand-stitched outsole, and this is from the Argentum line, so this has a machine-stitched outsole. And I'll get some close-ups that I'll put in right now. Now, when we look at the machine-stitched outsole here on the Argentum made to order, you can still see it's got a very high stitch density. It's got the edge wall on the fudge detail, and it's still extremely well executed. When you're doing something by hand, there's just an extra level of detail, an extra level of accuracy that you can do with each and every movement, whereas with the machine, you are limited within the constraints of what that machine can do. Functionally speaking, there is very little difference as far as what benefit you're going to get if you're wearing a shoe that has a hand-stitched outsole versus the machine-stitched outsole. To make sense of this for everyone and really kind of give you the important information so that you can figure out like what's really important and is it worth it. Machine-stitched outsoles, it's probably 90% of what you're going to see, whether you're looking at a handmade shoe, hand-welded, Goodyear welded. More often than not, you're looking at a machine-stitched outsole. With machine-stitched outsoles, they function perfectly well. There's really no benefit that you're going to get from a hand-stitched outsole that you don't have from a well-done machine-stitched outsole. The key things to keep in mind with a high-level shoe, if you're spending a couple of $1,000s on it and you really want a very specific look for that welt, for that finishing, it's going to be something that may be attainable through a hand-stitched outsole that may not be attainable with a machine-stitched outsole. And the difference between 8 stitches per inch and 11 stitches per inch is going to make you enjoy that shoe that much more. Then that may be worth it to you. If those are not value propositions for you, then by all means, the machine-stitched outsole is probably the best way to go. When getting a welded shoe, it's something that will stay with you for a lifetime. So it's going to be repairable. The hand-stitched outsole versus the machine stitch, it's going to limit who may be available to you to execute that to your satisfaction. It's just another factor to keep in mind and think about as you're beginning to invest in more expensive and higher end footwear. Let me know your thoughts on the topic. Let me know if you have any questions about one versus the other, and always appreciate the support. So definitely drop a like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. I'll see you next time. Thanks.